Good morning, or good afternoon, or good night. This is ET in my beautiful outdoor studio. I want to talk about climate change and Australians' attitude towards it. As you know, Australia is a very large continent with a very hot, dry climate most of the time. The people here, though, are deluded and think that somehow this continent, with only 22 million people on it, can somehow affect the world's climate. And for reasons no one can tell them, no politician is game to say, no newspaper, some newspapers do say, but no one can say, well, in China, they are building every 10 days a 600 megawatt coal-fired power station that will continue to pump carbon dioxide into the air and at an increasing rate. So whatever Australia does in regard to climate change is basically wasting its time. What it needs to do about climate change, it doesn't seem to understand. And what people do not understand about climates at all, which is amazing, it's an evolutionary process for humanity. That is, each human, each generation of humans, is born into the time-space paradigm they shall adapt to through their environmental influences, whether that's education, parental, geographical, whatever. Those dynamics make the life that you have. In other words, people are born in the deserts in Arabia and they exist through them. People are born in the snow countries and they exist through them. And people in Australia will be born in the climate they have in 20 years or 30 years time and exist through them. You can't get unhappy about the climate you've got because there's nothing you can do about it. And even if you think you're going to do something about it, you are not doing anything about it. Especially in Australia, it's an imaginary concept that you think you can affect the climate by putting wind turbines up or closing down all coal mines here in Australia. What Australia needs to do about climate, I personally have been lobbying the government since 1996 to do a certain experiment and inquiry into about how we use water here, but no one wants to listen. The only thing climates will affect is food growth, with how many crops we have, how we'll have droughts, those sorts of things. But for some reason, the greenies and the politicians think that by having these wind turbines put up at a great cost to the economy, they will somehow affect the climate. It's obviously it's a delusion. Above 33 degrees north in China, there are millions and millions of people who will freeze to death in winter if there were no coal burnt. And the other alternative is nuclear energy. But the Australian greenies on the left, to these people, whoever they are, the deluded people and dishonest people, are against coal-powered power stations and against nuclear power, yet they're ignoring totally in their little minds. Maybe they don't know where China is. Maybe it's just an illusion to them. What is China? We have no idea. We know there's Chinese people. We go to their restaurants, but we have no idea where they come from. And there are 1.3 billion of them growing exponentially in that country. Well, predominantly, it's very, very cold in there. It can be very hot, but China, anyone who's been there in winter knows it can get down to minus 20 degrees, and it's full of snow. And there's no alternative known yet, and there will not be for many, many years, but to burn coal to keep people warm. Now, no greenie, no politician, no one genius scientist in this country has come up with an answer to that. And until they do, they just stop going on and misleading the public, ripping everyone off for something they can do nothing about. It's the most dishonest concept in the world, to say that Australia can affect the climate when they can't even affect how their roads are built, how their cheese is, their NBN, their internet is useless. Most of the things here are second rate, and they think they can affect a climate. Really is extremely, very funny. If you're a rational person, it's extremely funny. Anyone here in Australia thinking we're going to affect the climate or stop the seas rising. Well, obviously they are totally ignorant, or purposefully ignorant, about the population of China and all of Asia, all through Siberia, all through to Russia. Billions of people requiring to keep warm in winter because it's minus 20 degrees, and I doubt if any Australian would not go and put coal on the fire if it was minus 20 degrees here and they were freezing to death and their kids were freezing to death. They had no hot water, nowhere to cook, but with coal they would all be burning coal because they're very selfish. They're very selfish. They've put the cost of electricity up so much now, wrecking the economy, and they say, oh, we're losing jobs and losing industry. Well, they've caused it. They've exported these jobs to China. China has to use more coal because it's created the jobs by exporting the jobs. America, Australia exports the jobs to China, so it burns more coal. And then we say, oh, they're burning more coal. Hang on a minute. How about engaging brains first before action is taken, and make sure that action is practical, positive, and beneficial to the long-term future of the people, beyond the idea we're going to save the climate. Because in the end, if you've got no economy, it won't matter what your climate is. You'll live in a poverty situation. But the thing is this, bottom line is, all these people who are pushing this climate change things are getting wealthy out of it. It pays to bullshit about it. That's the bottom line here. Thank you. I'm E.T., reporting to you from Australia, bringing you the truth, objective, practical truth about whatever. Ask any question. Thank you.